Alright guys, I'm back. I said I would try and do a comparison video of the Glock 27 and the Beretta PX4 Storm, so that's what I'm going to do. This is the Glock 27, which is the subcompact 40 cal, and this is the Beretta PX4 Storm subcompact, also chambered in 40 cal. It is a hammer fire versus a striker fire pistol. So there's obviously going to be differences in that kind of system. But overall, I'm going to kind of do size, feel, accuracy, trigger pull, and accessories that they come with. Start out with the Glock because it's mine. I know more about it. This is the Glock 27. I added the pinky extender on here, which helps me out a lot. The Beretta comes with a magazine that has a extendable or a retractable extendable pinky extender on there, which obviously gives you a better grip on it, as you can get your hand in there and all three fingers on it. Whereas if you have that, it kind of, you can still, if you got small hands like me, you can still get it in there, but it's digging into your pinky, and as you shoot, it's probably going to pop out anyways, which I noticed that did happen to me. Every time I've shot it with that thing up, it's popped out. Which, you know, might not be a big deal to some, but, you know, I don't want my grip changing in the middle of a firefight if it does, and it throws me all off. So, that's a difference right there, which isn't necessarily bad, but I'm not favorable of it, because the Glock one it's there, it doesn't move, gives you a full extra pinky on there, and I can get a lot better grip on this than I can on that one. So that's one difference. This is the pinky extender. It's a pierce grip, and it actually adds, they say, 2 rounds to the capacity of the magazine, but it's really hard to ram that last 11th round in there, because this is a standard 9-round magazine. And yeah, putting 2 more in there is really hard, and if you can get them in there, which I did once, trying to put it in the actual pistol and get it to click is a task. I mean, it's not easy. So I only put 10 in there, which is fine, because that's exactly how many the Beretta holds. So, magazine capacity, if you spend, I think they were like $8 from Cheaper Than Dirt for the pinky extenders. They give you an extra round, which I think is worth it, and they give you a better grip, which I think is worth it, which pretty much puts it right on the same playing field as the Beretta PX4 Storm, but you have to spend a little more money to get it, and you have to wait in the shipping and all that junk. So if you don't like that, you know, to each their own. I didn't mind. I ordered 2 of them at a time. Probably have to end up ordering a couple more. Another obvious difference, striker fire, hammer fire, which makes a big difference in the trigger pulls. I guess I don't know if that makes a big difference in the trigger pull, but there is a big difference in trigger pulls. Safety check it. It's all clear. Trigger pull on this is very stiff. Empty magazine. It's stiff. Like, you bring it back and you hit a wall, and you just have to push through that wall. Not very smooth, not very flowing. Whereas with the Beretta, take it off safe mode, empty magazine, safety check, nothing in there. When you do this, it comes back pretty smooth. You do hit that little wall, but there's not nearly as much pressure to go through it, to pass on it. I mean, it just kind of, it clicks, which I like. I thought the trigger pull on this was a lot better than the Glock, which, to be honest, made me more accurate on the 17-yard pistol range. So I was way more accurate with the Beretta, but that's not saying that the Glock isn't an accurate gun. It's just that I'm not as accurate with it up to 17 yards. I just have a problem with that trigger, which I will probably end up modifying my Glock so that it's not so stiff, and smooth it out a little bit. There's some tricks you can do with metal polish on some of the internals of there, and you can also get a lighter trigger. So yeah, that's one difference with them. Another difference is obviously this one does have an external thumb safety, so I can make it safe with my thumb. I'm right-handed, so this is weird for me. So if it looks like I don't know how to work a safety, it's because I'm trying to show you guys and this is the best angle and blah blah blah. Suck it. So yeah, it does have an external thumb safety, which, you know, once it's engaged, there's no firing. Which the thumb safety also acts as a decocker, so you can decock your pistol safely. And I tried doing that at the range and seeing if it would fire, and it didn't. So you can drop the hammer with that and it will not fire. Just don't be stupid to be pointing it at anything when you do that anyways, because that's just, yeah, with a loaded gun you're an idiot if you do. This does have a loaded chamber indicator, although it was basically like the Glocks, kind of a joke. I looked at it a few times to see if I could see it, and it was basically non-existent. So yeah, it's a joke. The Glock has one too, right here. It sticks out a tiny bit. You can feel it with your finger, but yeah, it's pretty much junk. And this doesn't have any safety on it. The only safety is between your ears. I guess there's one other safety feature, or two safety features. It's got the trigger. Safe. It's got the trigger. I don't know what the hell they even call them, but the little latch in there that you have to depress for the trigger to go down. And if you do dry fire it and there's nothing in it, the trigger stays back in the locked position, so it won't, you know, you can't fire a gun that won't fire, obviously. So you can do that and you won't have any problems with it going off in your pocket if you've got one in the chamber, which I don't feel safe carrying this with one in the chamber, which some say is stupid, but you know, that's fine. I don't care what they think. It's my pistol, my life. So I keep it one out of the chamber and I keep the trigger back so that I don't have any, you know, accidents or anything like that. The Glock, or with the Beretta, you can carry one in the chamber and have the hammer down, and all you have to do is flip it up and you'll do a double action shot for your first, and you're ready to go. The Beretta also does have a rail system on the front of it, so if you do put a light on it or a laser, you can integrate it into your holster too. So that's a good feature. I like that. I wish one of mine had a rail on it, so I think my next gun might, and it might be a Springfield XDM 3.8 40 cal. I don't know, but yeah, this no rail saddens me, breaks my heart. Still a beautiful gun, feels great in my hand. It does have ergonomics with the thumb, and it doesn't have the little finger memory up here like the Beretta does, but it's not really necessary. It's a good thing to have, so you know, when you're practicing with it, you know, you put your finger on it just out of habit because it feels good. It feels smooth, and you can sit there and just rub it down like it's a beautiful woman. But yeah, all in all, like I said, I shot the Beretta better this time than the Glock, but it was at 17 yards, which I'm not used to shooting at 17 yards. I'm used to doing a little closer. So it's just something that I'll have to adjust to, and I'll have to figure out. Weight-wise, there's a pretty big difference in weight, with the Beretta being the heavier of the two. I mean, the slide is just thicker, and it weighs more, and it feels more front-heavy than the Glock. You can also see, if I put them side by side, that they're pretty much even matched with barrel length overall. I mean, there's a slight difference, I bet, but I'm not going to nitpick. So, not a huge deal there. Thickness, you know, I honestly can't really tell with the naked eye here. It looks like the Beretta might be a little bit thicker, but it might just be because it's got that thumb safety on it that, you know, spreads it out right up there. Which I don't know I don't like how sharp it is, because I feel like if it was in a holster it'll come out right, but when you're trying to reholster it, you'll get caught on that a bunch. So that's nitpicky, and that's what I'm going to do. Just give you my honest opinion on it. I would carry the Beretta PX4 Storm, but I wouldn't choose it. I mean, if I had the two to pick, even though I shot better with the Beretta, I would still pick the Glock. It's something that I've carried before, and it's lighter. I've found it's more reliable. I haven't had a single hiccup in this one, and I did have one failure to eject out of this. Now, I don't know if it was the round or whatnot. It probably was the round, but I mean, I've only shot 3 magazines through it, so who knows. Ease of breakdown, the Glock wins hands down. I mean, you guys probably know how to break down a Glock. If not, you can look up a video. I'm not going to do it right now. Pop it down, pull it back, slide forward, done. This one, I noticed that the Beretta, when I was firing it, that the lever, or the little pin that you are supposed to pull out, which I can't get right now, I just trimmed my fingernails. Okay, there's a little bit. But I noticed that when I was firing it, this pin had a tendency to wiggle itself out. Not a whole way, but I mean, you don't want that happening. I mean, you want your gun to be solid. Like, it would come out about that far, which, if you kept firing it, it would come out more and more, and eventually it might just be out. So I didn't like that. I like a solid gun feel. This doesn't really have any wobble to it when you shake it, but the Glock really doesn't either. That was my magazine wobbling there, just because I have that pinky extender on there. It doesn't couple up perfectly, but yeah. Both are beautiful pistols. I like them both. I'm glad my buddy bought this, because I'm going to be having fun shooting it for him when he's not. And pretty much, you can't go wrong with either one. You're looking for, you know, features and coolness, I guess. You know, you get that with the Beretta, because it's, I mean, it's just got the pinky extender, that's kind of cool. It's got the finger rests, which is cool. It's reliable. It's accurate. It reminds me a lot of my 92, but it's a lot smaller. Yeah. The Glock here is I think it's lighter. It's a little more bare bones essential, and I mean, they're both built to work, but the Glock is proven. These things don't fail very often, and usually when they do, it's an ammo problem or something like that, or your spring you didn't put it in right, or I don't know. But I haven't had any problems with it, so Glock wins to me. Even though I'm not as accurate with it, I think I just need to take some more time with striker fired pistols, because I am not used to them. I do also think that I want to put a 3.5 pound trigger connector in here and see if that helps me out at all with the trigger. I'm also going to polish off some stuff in here. There's a video on there on YouTube. Some guy does about a 10-cent trigger job. It's, you know, makes sense, everything he says. And it's just taking some metal polish and polishing down some key areas in it, and it smooths it out. So maybe I'll do a video on it, but I probably will just link to his, because his is in HD and it looks 10 times better than mine. And why get it secondary when you can get it from the source? So yeah, all in all, like I said 2 seconds ago, all in all, they're both nice pistols. I like them both. I was told that on the Beretta sites that these are glow in the dark, but I tried it, held it to a light, turned them all off, and I didn't see any glowage. Maybe I'm just dumb, maybe I heard wrong, but that's my thoughts on it. Yeah, I'm biased. Actually, I'm not really that biased, because I love my Beretta 92. That's my favorite gun that I own. So I love Berettas, but I also love my Glock. I love the size. I love the ease of carry. Sorry, I just burped.